G'day everybody, it's Danny here from Botany Danny, a place where we talk all things plants and occasionally we go on some wild walks. In this video, we're going to take this cool Perspex straw, get some water and shade loving plants and build a cool terrarium, one that you can open and put in your house or close it up and allow it to develop its own ecosystem. Let's get going! So to start our project, we'll need a variety of easy to grow plants that love plenty of shade and water. There's a few grasses. A lot of these steppables, as we would call them, often grow quite easily around rockeries, in cracks, and places where moisture tends to accumulate. You'll also need a little Perspex straw. You can go for one that's fully clear, but this one I particularly like because it's got this bamboo effect to it. I can open it if I want to give the plants plenty of sunlight. I can water it, it's waterproof at the bottom, and if I want to close it up and display indoors, I can kind of close it and put lights around it. So I kind of got the idea for this little wild project on my recent trip to my local hardware store. I kind of saw the Perspex tray coming out of this bamboo box and I thought, wow, this would be perfect for allowing filtered light to kind of come through, kind of create like a little moss storage box or a kind of little plantarium where I can grow things that don't require a lot of light but do require a lot of moisture and moist soil. So I guess it's a little bit of an experiment in itself, but not only that, I love the flexibility of being able to open it up, giving the plants the light that it needs, and then closing it up again. So the first plant we've got in the lineup is a shade-loving plant. It's an evergreen moss-like ground cover that usually covers the surface of the base of pots, fills in the areas around shrubs and shady areas, and gaps between stepping stones. It really likes damp, shady environments, and it's actually quite a persistent grower. It does require a lot of water, and as you saw earlier, I've got some growing around my pond, but it is, once it's got a decent water source, it's relatively easy to look after. This plant here is kind of like a cool piece of ornamental grass. It kind of looks a little bit fake, but actually I can guarantee you that it is real and it is growing. But basically it makes this kind of clumping, or grows in clumps, which kind of creates this kind of mounding effect around your garden. And I really like it because it's got very spiky leaves, but it's really soft to touch as well. It's pretty drought resistant. Here I've got a little bit of grass with some well-developed roots. This next plant I mainly got because of its fern-like leaf structure. It's a hardy evergreen tuft perennial, which does create cool mats of dense green foliage once it kind of settles itself in. It's really beautiful in terms of the leaf texture and the patterning and the kind of the cool two coloration that kind of happens throughout it, which I really like. Kind of gives it kind of like an impressionist garden effect, if I could kind of describe it. Here's the full scope of the area setup where we're doing our little project. Let's prime it with a little bit of water. Make sure, get rid of any kind of residue at the bottom just to give it a base. Probably open up these pots, remove these plants and wet the roots underneath. So let's see how these roots are. Beautiful. This is great. I'll open them all up so we can lay them side by side. Ooh, there's even a sub-network of roots already developing on this plant. And I've got this one, I can see the external roots here. It's really important to see whether the roots are dry or wet. If they're too wet and bloated, then you can probably see that it might be starting to develop root rot, but this one is definitely in good condition. Look at the roots on this fella. Sick. Interesting root system. Well, that grass has gone deep. Look at it. Oh man, look at that rich soil. So good. If they just get enough moisture inside. Oh, that grass one has such a deep root system already developed. Right, we're going to now start putting the plants together. So I was thinking of possibly just putting this one here like that. And a good thing to do with these sorts of setups is to just place the plants inside and see how they look first before you commit to any final look for your terrarium. I'm thinking whether I could probably put this one at the back. Alright, I think that's the first thing I'm going to do is put this one here and move all the soil so it kind of surrounds the plant. You kind of want all the soil to keep those roots nice and well fed. That's looking pretty good so far. Pretty good. I think I also don't want to make it too high, because if it's too high, when I close it in the drawer, it's not going to be able to fit. Probably cut off some of this root system. These and any plants that I don't really use, I can put around my pond anyway, so it's not like it's going to go to waste back. But I'm going to kind of create like a little wall at the back, I think. Let's try and create that. If I did that, oh my gosh, this would be sick. Alright, I'm going to create this as part of the moss wall and create a little ravine here. A little ravine in this area. Put some stones here to build up a little bit of a kind of a jungle effect. Separated this smaller piece, and now I'm just going to kind of try and keep the roots intact and then just kind of tuff them up here just so it looks like it's part of, so it looks like it's growing across the top. As the plants grow, they're going to absorb the water from the base pool here, and they're just going to become really green. Their root systems are really long, well established. Gonna be like a little jungle up here. So there we have our terrarium in a drawer. Now we're going to wait for a couple of days just to let the plants really sit in and get acclimatized to its new terrarium environment, and check back and see how they're doing. So it's been about 2 weeks since I made my dresser drawer terrarium out of the bamboo box and the plastic tray. A little update. The fern that I used, the little stepper ball, has unfortunately not survived in the container, and I think it's probably because there was too much moisture or water, or maybe not enough light in the container, that the roots itself probably didn't really survive or find a place to kind of grapple onto. So I've had to do a few amendments since that last video, so I'm going to show that to you now, and this is what my drawer looks like in its final form. So to be honest, I'm pretty happy with the way it's turned out. It looks super cute. I've even bought this kind of lamp to kind of give it a little bit of light. And I think these kind of grasses actually are going to survive a lot better in this kind of drawer, because they've been kind of thriving and I've been watching it every day, seeing how they kind of grow. The actual smaller leaves are kind of perking up and pointing their way towards the light, which is a really good sign. So I'm pretty happy with this drawer terrarium as it is. Who knows, I might make another one in the future. Or so if you like what you've seen in this video, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe. And if you want to see some more cool creations or even start a conversation, this is a completely safe space to talk about plants or anything that you want to chat or discuss about. Write your comments in the comment section below. Otherwise, this is Danny signing out. See you for the next green project. Goodbye.